Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Reno 9/11, the hunt for QAnon. They are back, the old crew, the entire old cast, and a few new faces on Paramount Plus doing what they do. But the political angle is kind of turning me off. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Please check out my books. Links are in the description. If you like comedy horror in South Jersey with the Pineys. Thanks for supporting the channel. Sold 2 books. 2 books, and Little Joan got a treat in my other videos, which are on Bitchute and Rumble. So, the Reno 9/11 guys are back. They're great at what they do. I love them. But I feel that this plot point is ill-conceived. Now, the last one I saw was the Miami one, which was pretty good. It kind of spiraled to nowhere in terms of a story. But, like, they were, like, the dumbest cops, and they have to save everybody else because, like, everybody else got sick or something, and then they had to save people. In this one, they go on a cruise for QAnon, and the problem with this, as I see it, is most of these guys are extremely left in their politics. So, number one, they don't really know what they're doing. I mean, when you got Patton Oswalt as one of the QAnon guys, I mean, to me, he would know the least about QAnon. He would know the absolute least. There would be absolutely no nuance. I think he hates these guys. I think he, in general, I mean, this is a guy who I think he's canceled shows in certain red states because he's very political now. And getting this political in comedy is very tough to do. You got Brian Posehn and this guy, I can't remember his name. They're always doing stuff together. These two guys, too, are extremely left and very anti-Trumpers, in my view, from what I've read on their Twitter feed. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can be anti-Trump all you want, but when you put it into your comedy, that becomes a problem. They've got the shaman in it. Ha-ha. But this is really, the problem with this overall, the big problem, is it's really punching down. It is punching so far down. And these guys, even these guys must know it. And I get it. Their politics are left of left. But the QAnon guys have no power. Whatever you think of January 6th, some people think, oh my God, it was an insurrection. It wasn't. But even if you concede, okay, it was an insurrection and we nearly lost democracy, I don't know how you would think that. Those guys lost. They're in jail. They're all being horribly treated. And they don't have any power. Okay? The QAnon guys didn't send the U.S. Army to surround the Capitol. That wasn't those guys. No. So this is punching down. It's the number one rule of comedy, or one of the rules of comedy, you don't break. You just don't break that rule. Right? It's on December 23rd, by the way. The hunt for QAnon. So, who is this for? Okay, it's for lefties who already agree that QAnon are a bunch of crazy redneck gun nuts that tried to take over the country. Terrible people. Do they think this is funny then? Are they pathetic, or did they nearly take over the country? Make up your mind. Because if they're pathetic and they nearly took over the country, well, that makes our country pretty pathetic if, like, the most pathetic people in the country could take it over in, like, a day and a half after a rally and a couple of flags on spears. I mean, they didn't take over the country. It wasn't an insurrection. It was a riot, And there's a lot of suspicion around it. I won't get into it here, that it glows in the dark. I mean, you might as well do the hunt for Patriot Front. There's not a lot of material here. It's just not. And it's not very funny. Look, you want to make fun of reality if it's based in reality. This isn't reality. The QAnon guys, I mean, they might have a cruise. There might be just enough QAnon people that someone could grift them in a cruise. But they don't have any power, so it's kind of pathetic. And you could argue that Reno 9/11, they've done funny bits on pathetic people, like when they made fun of the Renaissance Fair guys. Yeah, but when you go into politics and you rate them about... See, the Renaissance Fair guys, they're not political. They just do Renaissance Fair stuff. And when Patton Oswalt made fun of them on the show, it was funny because, you know, he was making fun of nerds, and nerds within their own culture are powerful to a certain extent. But within the world of politics, QAnon has zero power, like zero power. You could argue, yeah, there's a few people in Congress who say certain buzzwords that, you know, light up their antennae, but that's about it. They don't hold any, you know, even MTG isn't QAnon. She's not. She says some wacky things, but she's not QAnon. There's no way. She's just not. Show me where she's introducing a bill to, I don't know, mark the QAnon. Nobody's QAnon, really. The people who are QAnon are dupes. They're dupes. And yeah, you can make fun of that, but that's really punching down. It's like making fun of, I don't know, people who believe Blue Anon stuff, people who believe in the Russia hoax. It would be like doing, yeah, there you go. That's a perfect analogy. If you did the exact same thing, only it was about the Russia hoax, that would be this equivalent. Because the Russia hoax was a hoax. It was proven to be a hoax. And there's people who still believe it. You know, you could have Rachel Maddow. It actually would be kind of funny. Because you could go that way because Rachel Maddow still has power. These guys never had it. Not for a minute. You could have made this cruise, you could have made it a neoliberal cruise. That would be easy. They've got tons of money. And there's plenty of people who believe their nonsense. You could have made it an Antifa cruise. And do the hunt for Antifa. And have the 9/11 guys go after that. Because the 9/11 characters, not the actors. The actors are pretty left in my view. But the 9/11 characters, in my view, they're kind of right. They're kind of right-wing. They're pro-gun. Junior is right-wing, definitely. The guy who does the voice of Daryl Dribble, I forget the character's name, he's pretty right-wing. In the show, they're right-wing. And even Clemmy, kind of right-wing, if you look at the old show. So it would have been perfectly sensible that those guys, and you could make fun of the right through them, because you can make them right-wing and say, yeah, we're going to get these evil Antifa guys, and then they go on this whole cruise, spend all this money to go after these pathetic soy boys who, you know, had a cruise, and it's all a big grift. And you could do the same for QAnon, but it's just not going to ring the same. It's just not. They don't have any power. They don't have any money. This grift is a lot harder. It'd be easy to do the opposite grift. The only problem is, you know, the Antifa guys don't really consider cruises a thing. You know, unless you can loot the ship at the end of the cruise. I don't know. You know, Reno 9/11 guys going up against an Antifa mob or a BLM mob. That would be something. The whole riot thing. It'd be funny as hell. Because that's a real thing. The QAnon guys, I mean, it's over a year old, and you know, it's just part of the establishment's, oh, God, we nearly lost democracy on January 6th. Oh, but those QAnon guys are pathetic conspiracy theorists. Well, which is it? Are they pathetic, or did they nearly take over the country? Are they Lex Luthor or Otis? Obscure reference there. Anyhow, yeah, I'm a little disappointed they would even get political, quite frankly. But they're funny guys. They're funny guys. Would I watch this? Maybe. I mean, I might get Paramount Plus for Christmas to watch South Park. And then if I had some time, maybe I'd watch this. I mean, streaming on December 25th. Would I go out of my way to see it? You know, I didn't want to see this get political, quite frankly, at all. I didn't need politics in this. This was a funny parody of Cops. There's plenty of material there. Did we need to go here? Probably not. Probably not. But politics is infusing everything, and it kind of destroys comedy, especially if you're going to punch down, guys. And you're punching down, whether you want to admit it or not. All right, that's it for me. Tony D and Little Joan, here they are in a sex dungeon. I think that's a bit they did on the show. Trapped in a sex dungeon. Didn't they do something like that? Anyhow, I'm out of here. We'll see you tomorrow.